Welcome back to Let's Play Deathmark. Right, let's go pick up that. Transition time. It's time for another bad end. Brace themselves and glance over at Shou. Sorry, Shou, but you're gonna die. Shou, I'm counting on you. Sorry, this is doing the hurts. I slapped Shou's face. Oh man, you little. That clear ahead of him. He's coming, we have to go. We'll do everything we can, but you have to do as I say. Yeah, okay. See the lead Shou into the darkness. Drifting on the wind from somewhere. Bees! Right. One sticky baseball coming right up. The sound effect make it sound like we shot him, but we didn't. Alright, you son of a bitch. What do we do? Oh yeah, good morning. Baseball bat to face. The spray should be able to drug and hit him with the baseball bat. Now we gotta do one more time. I mean, I'm not sure. Because I think you probably will throw away anything you try to put on him until you get to that, final point, essentially. Okay. Which one to go with? Well, both will do. Either way. Try pouring 2 drugs over Shimi-O, or the 2 medicines over him. As they mix together, they begin to bubble, reacting violently to each other. Shimi-O looks up amid the poisonous fumes as if trying to gasp his breath. But he's unable to escape the gas, and the floor shakes as he wails a death cry. At last, his huge body crumbles to the ground and his movements cease. His honey-covered drill rattles as it rolls across the ground. I don't sense Shimi-O anymore. Serves you right, bitch. Shou is back to normal. His mark appears to have vanished. Mine is, of course, still there. Wait, what did that say about Shou? That's why Shou was acting strangely here. Damn, that's gross. All yours, old man. See me, Shou? There's absolutely no intention of picking up. Much like Master. Yeah, dark will make it tough to read. Let's take a look when we get back. I want to be to retreat out of here ASAP. Yeah, you're right. But unfortunately, you're not going to make it out of this forest alive. It's like, would it really count as a spoiler to say that he's not going to get out of this forest alive because of the way I defeated Shimi-O? Hey, what are you trying to pull? Don't mess with me like this. It's not me. It's the flashlight acting up. And on the good end path it acts up anyway. But it leads to nothing in the end because they just get the flashlight working again. But bad ends. Yeah, an icy cold shiver runs down my spine. Suddenly overwhelmingly afraid, like the dark force is trying to absorb my body. If I could just get the light back on. If we just had it back, I'd feel so much better. I hit the switch repeatedly, silently praying. The light isn't coming back on. Pain! My mark is throbbing. The indication of death. That noise! Hey, old man, that would be a really great time to get that light on. Mark is searing pain, but I struggle to keep hitting the flashlight switch. What happened? Did I faint? My head's foggy. The light suddenly comes back on. What? Where's Shou? Hey, Shou! Show yourself, Shou! I hear ragged breathing like that of a beast from a bush close by. I try to head toward it, but my legs won't cooperate. I'm frozen in place. Sound of a human being destroyed. I think being torn apart more like it. Again, you know, they have these really brutal sound effects, and they will, you know, usually at least have... I mean, I think there's at least 2 cases where there's not even a death scene. And by that I mean you don't even see the aftermath at all. But you don't really get any CGs for these. A maniacal laugh bringing me joy. Considering those sound effects, I'm surprised he was even alive to that point. A man's death cry. Move legs, I force them into motion, and head in the direction of the voice. There I find... no one. But between the broken branches beneath the trees and the disturbed dirt, someone had definitely been here. So yeah, we don't even see like his blood splatter or anything like we did in the previous chapter when the character gets killed. And I think there's one other example of that happening in the later chapter as well. After that, I search for us until the sky begins to brighten, but I don't find Shou. So also I drag my body to the car and collapse from helplessness. The whole ride back to Kujo Mansion, my ears ring with the horrible buzzing of bees. Now, I don't think you'd ever be able to see bees the same way again after something like that. You're finally back. Looks like you were successful too. The mark's gone. Well, mine is at least. My mark is still here, still there. What does this mean? And where is Shou? Christie is hysterical, watching her head. What the? Hey, Yashiki, what happened to the kids? Don't tell me. Master's glare feels like a hit, its face thunderous like a demon. All I can do is nod. Damn it! No, you can't mean. I was sure we'd killed Shimi-O, but when the flashlight went out, I know the voice I heard was his. Was the spirit getting revenge like Hanahiko did? You know, I remember when I watched Manly Badass Hero play this, and he didn't like do it consistently. Like each chapter he'd, you know, get the good and bad ending, but it didn't seem like he did it on separate save files. So each time he would do it, it would, you know, be like it was the first death in the playthrough. So it doesn't acknowledge that it's not the first time it's happened. And you know, to get the bad end, which is also titled normal ending, as the trophy for it, all you need is just one character to die. You don't need them all to die. It doesn't really make... well, it does make a difference in the epilogue, where it's showing like what happens to the characters. Because I feel the survivors react to the death in the epilogue of it. They actually kind of acknowledge it in some kind of way anyway. Although that being said, I've only seen the epilogue with one character death, so I'm not sure to what extent it does when a character dies in each chapter, so it'll be new to me when we get to that point. It appears that you overcame your fear and destroyed the spirit, but there was another victim. This is likely upsetting for you, but take comfort in the fact Lord Marshall's mark has vanished. Question. I get why my mark didn't go, but why hasn't Christie's? I thought she didn't have name here. It's like we're already over Shou at this point. Wait. Oh yeah, it'd be different dialogue because we didn't take him with us this time. Hey Yashiki, it's been bugging me for a while now, but you kind of stink. No, it's not that. My nose can't compare to a police dog's, but it's still good. Your sleeves smell weird. But I certainly understand. Marshall's probably talking about the smell of the honey left on my ugly sleeves. I did read it. I'll read it again. Blah 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 blah, blah 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 blah. Guess I can't write it off then. It's no more ridiculous than the idea that spirits really exist. We're dealing with the supernatural, so just about anything's fair game. Divine wrath. It is almost dawn. Too much has happened today. I need a break from it all. I'll think about the future more once I've gotten some rest. Well, good night. Did you say the same exact dialogue last time as well? Are they not even going to acknowledge that Shou died now? Hey Yashiki, decide to leave tomorrow. Let's make him go all like that's gross. I miss you, cut the sap. It's gross. Anyway, I'm satisfied. That big sting of missing persons cases the Force couldn't solve. I figured out what was behind it, and I basically closed the Honeybee family case I've chased for years. Proof you're seeking can be found here. There's something else in the machine. I can find it in someone's grave. Expression's still the same, but it feels like he's more at peace. He accomplished what he set out to do. Hey, Yashiki. This whole thing is too dangerous. I'm reckless, but that doesn't mean I don't care if I live or die. Sticking my neck out for you in the past this point is just too risky. Sorry. Trevor runs through his clenched fists. We're both probably thinking about what happened to Shou. They acknowledge that. I managed to escape you there. Escape death. I'll buy you a drink sometime. See you. No, Lord Yashiki. Good night. Should I? The thing is, I don't know if the next day acknowledges Shou's death. Whenever a character gets killed off, it seems like they barely acknowledge it past the point where they initially react to it. It's gonna be bloody confusing on these save files. Alright, we go back to the old save file. You have consistent voice acting on some of your lines. Chapter 2, Shimi-O ends. It's been 3 days since Shimi-O's defeat. Wasn't that the case last time, where it's like, it's been 3 days since the events of Hanahiko? Marshall and Shou have left, leaving only Christie and I at the mansion. Oh yeah, would have acknowledged it, wouldn't it? Shit, I'll have to go back for that. We've not had any new bark bearers arrive, not any new info on any spirits. Death's footsteps keep drawing closer. Lord Christie and Lord Yashiki, did you obtain any clues? No, nothing really. I'd hope, but... I see. Lord Sire's study seems optimal to contain something of interest. Christie and I just finished investigating Sire Kujo's study. They had been full of millions of specialized books and pirate reports. It was a daunting task, but we did our best to search through them regardless. Except it was all futile. Everything was about healing the spirit, nothing mentioned the mark at all. Hey, Mr. Yashiki, don't you think it's useless to keep searching the mansion? You have any other ideas then? Well, remember what I said about Hate Shrine? Yeah? Right, of course I would. I was thinking, maybe the shrine is connected to all this spirit stuff. That's what Shimi-O's note said, right? Everything's happening in the forest is divine wrath of Hate Shrine. Then you think the mark and the spirit activity are because of this divine wrath? It's definitely a possibility. Assassins happen in many ghost stories and this because of the wrath of gods. Isn't there value in looking into it? Maybe. Exactly what I'd expect from you. Always so quick on the uptake. Christie is brimming with confidence. She seems in a much better mood than she was 3 days ago. She's a famous reporter after all, so maybe this is what she's really like. So, Mary, I'd like to go see Hate Shrine. You don't mind, do you? It is true many unpleasant rumors surround that forest. If the cause is Hate Shrine, there may be some clues there. But even if there are, if it's spiritual, then how are normal humans like us supposed to find it? Christie and I don't have spiritual powers. In that case, could you bring me along with you to Hate Shrine? I should be able to sense the presence of anything spiritual. I can act as a guide as well. You know that shrine? Yes, in truth, it enshrines the guardian deity of the Kujo family. Over the generations, the heads have taken care of the shrine. However, that came to an end after the recent war resolved. Recent war? If that's referring to World War II, I mean, this takes place in the 90s. That'd be quite far back even then. Well, not extremely far back, but you know, it would have been several decades. As one who serves the Kujos, I am concerned about its present state. Then bring you along would mean I have to carry you, don't I? As it is impossible for me to walk, I would agree with that assessment. I am sorry to inconvenience you. An overgrown forest in the dead of night. I'm not looking forward to having to carry Mary all the way to the shrine. You look worn out and we haven't left. It's a small price to pay if we can get any hints about the spirits. That's true. I think Mary is eager about this too, so I'll just have to deal with it, I suppose. Okay, let's go back to the forest. Well, we've only got you as a partner now, haven't we? Should show that survived, safely returned to normal life. Survived, safely returned to normal life. Is something the matter? Are you not heading to Hate Shrine? No, I was just checking the other dialogue was all. Before we leave, we put Mary in the back seats. Thank God she's not as heavy as she looks. It's like, hey! I should be able to carry her just fine. By the way, Mr. Yashiki, have you read the files over there? She points to the right side of the room and shelves packed with files. Not yet. I've searched most of the mansion, but I haven't checked the couch. Oh, really? Christie grabs a file and flips through the pages. Looks like articles on various crimes. Clippings over every incident in H City and the surrounding area. Is Miss Kujo looking into criminal activity? Any bit look related to the mark? No, not as far as I can tell. These are all extremely old. Most recently it's dated 5 years ago. She puts the file back. Alright, should we head out soon? And that's what we were doing. I feel this part is gonna be one of those parts where I'll have to, screenshots uh, part of the video and have that as the thumbnail. Because this definitely not gonna have it as one of the default thumbnails, because how far in the video it is already. Back outside the entrance of the forest and Gallimary into my arms. And you may be wondering why. Well, you'll see soon enough. We make our way to the familiar arch. There's still a long way to go. Middle-aged man carrying a doll. You're practically a ghost story yourself if someone sees you here. She's not a nice CG. That's why I wanted this the thumbnail. I'm very sorry to cause you such trouble. Mary stares up at me as I hold her. Her skin and hair glints bewitchingly when the light from the flashlight catches them. I've not been outside in a long time, and to go hiking in the arms of such a fine gentleman, this is a very precious experience. She sounds as dispassionate as ever, but is she actually having fun? Still, it is just as the rumors say. This forest is filled with the curses and resentment of the dead. Simply their presence is enough to drive the living mad. The land is tainted. I can see why it has given birth to monstrous spirits. I bet if you track down the cause of it, it'll be the divine wrath. Let's hurry to the shrine. We reach the old Torii gate with no trouble. Or is it Torii? Torii. We stand out and watch for a while, but nothing comes out of the beehives. They seem to be sleeping. It is most likely because Shimi-O is now gone. Its shrine is up those stone steps. At Mary's direction, we walk towards the gate. Small black shadow flits across our feet. It's that rabbit again. So this is the rabbit you told me about, Lord Yashiki. You are correct, it is very cute. The rabbit stares up at the two of us and makes weird noises, then disappears towards the shrine. What in the world was that about? What do you think, Mary? I felt a strange presence. It appears to be possessed by some kind of soul. So it's a spirit too. Indeed, though it does not appear strong enough to give marks to humans. We know nothing of its true nature, so please proceed with caution. We follow the rabbit under the Torii gate and up the stone steps. At the top we find the wilderness creeping in. There doesn't seem to be anything here but an old altar. It's the sage shrine. Sadly, it has fallen into disrepair. The war was over 50 years ago. I suppose this was to be expected. And you're like, oh, that was recent, 50 years ago. During the 90s. World War II ended in 1945. 1945. Would that mean that the actual date this takes part in is 1995 then? Could be. I think, yeah, the sequel takes place in 1999. So, a few years later. That black rabbit is gone. Deserted shrines give me the creeps. Let's hurry up and get this urchin so we don't sneak her. Headless Buddha statues buried in the ground. Creepy. I wonder what happened here. There's a secret Shimanawa rope on a ragged boulder. I wonder if that boulder is in Iwakura. It's been years, and as I mentioned in my Sino, the Let's Play, I didn't back up Mugen when, my old laptop bit the dust. But in that, I did have, it's a fighting game where, just add in, people just, put in characters and stuff, mod them from different games and stuff like that. And I basically had Onyx, the Pokemon in there. But I think it had its Japanese name. And I think it was something like that, so that's probably what Onyx is based on, partially. So Rock Snake, And it's probably based off that, because it was Iwa something. So it probably was based off that. It's a Japanese name anyway. And probably its appearance as well. At least partially. What's that? According to ancient Shinto tradition, it's a sacred rock that a god descended on. I mean, maybe. It's like, it's like now picturing that. It's like onyx is like made of sacred rock. You know, that God descended upon. And it's also incredibly pitifully weak. Why'd they make onyx so terrible with its stats? It's bulky, but it's got nothing else. Its attack is dreadful. It's like, why do you do that, man? You could have. I mean, Onyx looks like such a cool Pokemon. It's a simple design, giant, huge rock snake, but it's weak. It's just like, damn it! You make it look so well. Even in the anime, it looks stupid because it lost to freaking Pikachu in a stupid fashion that would not happen in the games because electric attacks can't hit it. But the anime is kind of They kind of like, they're basically Kyber in, your garbage is like, screw the rules! But it's not, well, they have a lot of money now, wouldn't they? That franchise, Pokemon in general, made them a lot of money. But anyways, it's not uncommon for the rock itself to become an object of devotion. I can't tell, maybe it's freaking Mary that's replying here. Chipping in with the dialogue. It's a wooden shrine altar. A clouded old mirror serves as the Go Shintai. Go Shintai. What is a Go Shintai? It's exactly what you're looking at. I'm not sure exactly what a Go Shintai is, though. I'm not too familiar on, the kind of religious stuff. I'm not sure if Go is like added on. There's definitely something that's added on to the end of shrines. I'm not sure if it's Go or something else. Looks like it's true that no one's taken care of this place for a long time. Maybe it is Mary, I don't know. I'll be inside the altar just in case, but all I find is a thick layer of dust. I'm just gonna assume it's Mary, unless, Christie appears on screen. I'm just gonna assume it's Mary. The Ghost Shintai is outside and the altar's empty. That's concerning. I don't think there's any more we can search. The Buddha statues concern me. Why are all the ones within the shrine missing their heads? Shinto and Buddhism were ordered to be separated during the Meiji period. Before then, many shrines were dedicated to both. Each shrine was much the same. But in the Meiji period, there was a push to make Shinto the main religion. Their faiths were forced apart. Extremists stole the Buddhist statues from shrines and desecrated them. Oh, the famous anti-Buddhist movement. So this is where that happened. No, it was done in a public space as they wanted to make a show of it. The broken statues were carried here to serve as a memorial for worship. Kujo family head was said to be aggrieved, so he moved them in secret. Seems that all the broken statues from around H City were buried here. Strange. You said they were worshipped, but this place is pretty much a ruin. You have a keen eye, Lord Yashiki. The shrine was subsequently dug up and the statues were stolen. So they came all the way into this huge forest just to carry off broken statues. Who would do something like that? That I do not know. I merely heard they were stolen 50 years ago, around the time of the war. So the statues were broken, thrown away, and then dug up. They say the Buddha has a wealth of patience, but even he'd get angry. Could that anger upturn the divine wrath and given birth to the Markan spirits? Mary, have you been able to feel the presence of any spirits or what? About that, this land is much more foreboding than I had imagined. The air, enmity of the forest swallows all else. It is hard to sense beneath it. So, too much background noise, right? Yes, although you have two fans on running at the same time, one on the ceiling, and one on a stool. And it's probably being picked up on a microphone every now and then because, Yeah, but I'm not gonna have my fans off. It's like, they might be, not as warm as the past few days. At least, not right now. But it's still warm. So I need my fans. I do sense the same presence as Lord Christie's mark, however. However faint. I'm sure the spirit that gave her the mark is somewhere in the forest. So after all that, we were only able to reconfirm something they already knew. Forgive me, I was unable to. You don't have to apologize, Mary. We've learned plenty of value here. What do you mean? I'll tell you on the way back. First, let's get the hell out of here. This place gives me the creeps. Maybe it's the ill will of Mary sensed. So let's get out of here. We leave Hate's Shrine, walking down the beach trail towards the forest entrance. Maybe it's because of a strange tale, but for some reason I feel like someone is watching us from the darkness of the trees. We begin driving back to the mansion. As we break out of the dense forest, I can see building lights pop up here and there. Well, that was a complete waste of time. My anxiety lifted, I don't even bother filter the words that slip out of my mouth. Oh, I don't think that's true. It's all coming together for me. Without further prodding, Christie starts in on her theory, passion evident in her voice. I believe Shimi-O was right. Hate's Shrine is definitely what's causing all the strange stuff in the forest. I'm sure it's those stolen statues. Don't you agree? I wonder. It feels like we just don't have enough info at this point to say one way or the other. But there's no denying that a lot of strange things are going on in that forest. In all the suicides and Shimi-O wandering around, it couldn't just be coincidence, could it? If we research the shrine, we might learn more about the mark. I feel that's a lot safer than risking our lives looking for the spirits. Don't you think? You might be right. My replies are half-hearted, which isn't what Christie was hoping for, so she falls silent. The awkward, uncomfortable silence settles. Lord Yashiki, please stop the car. Mary speaks for the first time since we entered the car. What is it? I sense a presence similar to Lord Christie's mark close by. Man, I have to go through this whole scene again as well. A lot of the other save file, because they probably have just the slightest bit of acknowledgement that Shou died in that route. Following Mary's request, I park in a vacant rest stop on the outskirts of H City. Chris and I step out of the car. Ow! My mark is suddenly scalding. Something nearby. Look, someone's over there. A small girl steps out of the telephone box. Why is a kid outside at this time of night? Thanks for bringing me out here this late at night, Ada. Or was it just Ada? I don't know. We got to talk with Hanayome. Oh yeah, glad to hear it. This guy. Namu. But it's got the ghost thing, whatever it's called, I forget, on the heads. Is it a character name or... I don't know. But we have an otaku. Rather round young man appears, stepping out of the shadows. Got your quest answered, Suzu. I feel like I'm giving him a similar voice to Manly Badass Hero gave him. I don't know, it feels like that kind of voice kind of fits him. It's okay now. Hanayome sure is amazing though. She knows where everything is. You got that right. She helped me find my limited edition Love and Hero phone strapping ROM. What's Love and Hero? What? You don't know? popular idol group here. You know, it's funny. You know, that's, you know, the Love and Hero and idol group in, well, technically it's referenced in the sequel as well. But then there's, you know, another idol that's a lot more important to the plot in, you know, the sequel. And the protagonist is like, what's that? And they're kind of both gonna have the same excuse for why they don't know that. They've been all over TV lately. I'm surprised you haven't heard. TV's restricted at home, and that is the example. Point in question. Well, you know, it's just basically protagonist in the sequel doesn't have a TV, so they're not really up to date on this kind of stuff. Much like this girl here. Mum says it rots your brain. Oh, Ada, is the bus coming soon? Oh, the last bus is on its way. We better go. We'll be in big trouble if your mom finds out we went out. Yeah. We watched from a distance for a while, but it's hard to determine their relationship. The pain from my scar is suddenly gone. Hey, Christie, what do you think? I turn, but Christie isn't there. Hey, you there, just how do you know that girl? Depending on your answer, I'll report you for child abduction. Well, there goes Christie, hounding the poor guy. Well, just wait till I mention what his original character was gonna be like. Just calm down. I tried to persuade her, but she won't budge. The man stumbles over his words. He looks flustered and overwhelmed. Hey, lady, don't be mean to Ada. The girl rushes to stand defensively in front of him and glares at us. She seems a lot more level-headed than the flustered guy behind her. I asked him to help me, okay? I wanted to talk to Hanayome, so I had him come with you. Who's this Hanayome you keep mentioning? A ghost who helps find things. People say that you can talk to her from this telephone box. A ghost, huh? She looks at me. We're both thinking the same thing. Earlier the mark was hurting, so maybe. You guys look serious. What's going on? We notice the glances between us. Does the scar look familiar at all? I show them the mark on my right arm. Hey, hold on. What is this? That looks exactly like mine. He pulls off one of his gloves and reveals the mark on his hand. This is a cursed scar, yeah? I saw an article on OOP Arts Monthly. It said it causes amnesia, you can kill you, but that's nonsense. It's not all true, right? Right? Sounds like he'd heard the rumors, but chose to not do anything about it. That's no surprise, really. It's tough to believe it's real until your memory loss starts becoming noticeable. I've got one of those too. It showed up on my left wrist when I made that phone call earlier. Pulling up her sleeve, she shows us her mouth. They both have the mark, and after calling Hanayome, that's more than a coincidence. Well, we can't just leave them here. Let's bring them to the mansion. We tell them that what's going on and ask them to go to Kuja Mansion with us. It surprisingly doesn't take much to get them to come. I thought it'd take more convincing. Could partially be because they missed the last bus while talking with us. Before they climb in, I warn Mary to stay quiet until we get back. Might be a bad idea to freak them out. And others probably think, oh my god, that's so cool! Now I might as well, I'll mention. Because I didn't have the art book that came with the special edition of the game. But Manly Badass Hero did, and at the end of its Let's Play, like, goes over that. And it, like, talks about what the characters originally, the idea behind them was originally going to be, until it was scrapped for the most part. It's like, you know, Moe in the well, not the previous chapter before that. And, you know, Shou, for example, they didn't really get changed all that much. They're more or less the same. The only difference for, like, Shou was that they added in a fear of ghosts and paranormal in general for him. Now, Tsukasa was originally going to be, you know, a bit more, you know, sinister, a bully kind of kid or something like that. Well, Eita was originally going to be a pedophile. Which is, you know, gives Christie's reaction there, just like, oh yeah. Now that seems like, yeah. But they scrapped that idea. Because, I mean, that would be a bit... Eesh. It would be very dark. I'm not sure if, the other character, I mean, I know her name, but was she introduced yet? I wasn't paying attention if she introduced herself by her name yet. But, I'm not sure how much different her character is to the original concept on it. I'm not so sure on Christie either. I'm not sure how much. I think that Christie's character might have been a bit different originally as well. I think they probably had her a bit more, you know. I don't know. Her character, I think, was originally going to be different. I feel like most of the characters were intentionally originally going to be a bit more, you know, dark. You know, they weren't gonna be, you know... I mean, you can see the remnants of it, but they were gonna be darker, you know. Meaner kind of characters, you know. But they ultimately kind of toned it down a bit and, you know, took away some elements. Because it was a bit too much, I guess. Let's reintroduce ourselves. The man's name is Eita Nakamatsu. The girl is Suzu Morimiya. Yeah, that's it. They tell us they met through the readers calling in OOP Arts Monthly. Susan mentioned she was interested in Hanayome and Eita told her what he knew. And she pestered him into bringing her to the room at telephone box. They were out this late because of her. Her parents sound pretty strict. Her mother keeps a close eye on her after school and she needs permission to go out. So she snuck out of the house after her mother went to bed. Hanayome is just as famous at my school as Hanahiko is. Hey, Eita, please tell them about those rumors. Do I have to? Okay, fine. Eita reluctantly tells us at Susie's request. They're just rumors I read, bud. Ooh. Chapter 3, Hanayome. Hey, remember that one story, you know? One about public phone box in H City? There's a ghost that looks like a bride. She was quite what you're looking for. I don't know why I'm putting on an accent suddenly. One of my friends actually tried it. He went to the specific phone box that lets you talk with ghosts. The phone suddenly started ringing. He slowly picked up the phone. But all he could hear was this weird smacking noise. He stayed on the line until... Did you see it? He heard a woman whisper. So he did what the rumor said to do and said, no, I haven't seen it. Then she said, what do you want to see? His cat had gone missing, so he asked where it was. Then he looked where the woman said it really was there. So the rumors told the truth. I want to go ask her where my future bride is now. Oh, want to come with me? You know, considering that, you know, the ghosts look like a bride, I don't know. Feel like a bit of a touchy subject to ask a question like that. There. I carry Mary from the car and gently place her back on the sofa. Being in your arms is not bad, but I am most calm when I am here. The doll really talks. I can't say I expected that. Then, does that mean all that stuff about the box is true too? On the way over, we updated Susan and Eita with just about all they need to know. They may not completely believe us, but they're not rejecting it outright either. Seems like Eita in particular has already experienced some memory loss. Something about forgetting the name of anime characters and voice actors. Christie looked at him strange, but he appears to be taking it quite seriously. He's like, man, no. Forgetting all, everything I learned in school. I don't care about that, but I can't remember my favorite anime characters. Damn it, it's really bugging me. I can't remember the names. Was one of them Namu by any chance? She's like, oh yeah, I'm wearing the shirt. She just snuck out of her house because she believed the rumors about Hanayume. They both believed in the occult already. I'm pretty sure they'll help us find a way to escape the mark. Granted, they're also really curious about Hanayume. Pardon me, but may I speak? The marks on Suzu and Ada. They are likely from Hanayume and Lady Christie. The feeling I sense from your mark is the same as theirs. So we can assume Hanayume also gave the mark to you. Do you recall encountering her? Something weird did happen. Right before I entered the forest, I stepped in the phone box on Tea Mountain. My phone rang out of nowhere. Oh, it might be because of that. The telephone box in that rest area is also in the rumors of Hanayume. But I didn't pick it up. It creeped me out, so I left. I was never able to give that person one final call because of that. Who are you talking about? It's not for children to know. Yeah, that was, you can probably guess what that was. She was going into the forest to die. So she was obviously probably gonna give one last call before she did that. Fine. So there are other phone boxes like that. I think there are 3 that Hanayume will call from. The one we went to is in the A highway parking lot is one. One is Tea Mountain Rest Area. That's the one Miss Christie went to. And Ada, where's the last one? At the park by T apartment complex. It's the only one inside the city. Why just those 3 locations? Dunno, this BBS I read didn't say. Mister, do you really think Hanayume is the one who gave us the marks? Well, your one definitely seems like, since you only noticed it afterwards. But the rumors about Hanayume go back 5 years. And no one's even mentioned that if you call her, you'll get a mark. Susan's right. Rumors about this mark thing only popped up super recently. So you're saying Hanayume hasn't always been giving out the mark? That's true. I wonder what triggered the change. Of course, I can't really say, seeing as I don't know anything about spirits. Ghosts helping people find what they're looking for. That's pretty strange. Definitely the definition of ghost story. Hey, Mr. Yashiki, if those rumors are true, why don't we try asking where the stolen statues are? If we return them to their places, it might just save our lives. Search for the Buddha statues. Christie's right, we might be able to escape the mark without fighting spirits. Mary, what do you think? A good question. Objects with human forms are easily able to gain inexplicable powers. Bleeding stone statues, cursed dolls. There are many examples. Historical statues of gods and Buddhas would certainly be no exception. Asking Hanayume about them would be a good idea. So says the doll before our eyes that has the inexplicable power of talking the talk. Maybe it wouldn't be strange that Buddha statues could bring down divine wrath. Lord Yashiki, may I add that this part is very long. As I explained previously, your mark is... It is different from the others. The ancient spirit seems to weaken your mark's powers. It's been several days since you told me that I was going to die. Taking care of the spirits we encountered is likely how I'm still among the living. What are you trying to say? I cannot say what the relationship between your mark and Hanayume is, but it is true it is in your best interest to track down spirits. I hope you will guide these mark bearers this evening as well. I can't really picture Christie and Ada facing off against spirit by themselves. They failed, and that child would suffer the deadly consequences. Interestingly enough, I think, I did mention in a previous part that, back when, Tsukasa, is like, okay, who will die in chapter 1? And It ended up being Tsukasa. And I was like, man, the baddest hero. His Let's Play. He, for this chapter, for getting the bad end, went with Suzu. And I was like, you seriously went with Suzu? I'll just say here, each character here, Christie, Eita, Suzu, they're all an option. This is the only chapter where all of the partner characters are up for grabs on the, to be killed off. It's like, and after this chapter, everything is pretty much, there's only one character that can die. Bit of a spoiler of sorts. It'll become very obvious in the next chapter at the very least. You'll definitely pick up on it, probably. I mean, even, well, yeah, because I've already pointed out, you'd pick up on it even if I didn't point it out. That would weigh heavily on me. No turning back, I'll figure something out. Thank you. Mary bows her head slightly. Now you should begin investigating Hanayume. Why does she only call from free public phones within H City? Your secret may lie in the answer. You visited the parking lot already. Please investigate T Mountain and the park by T apartment complex. Well, I guess I'm not going to be reloading the other one in this part, so, go through all that scene just so we get Shou's, thing. Acknowledgement of his death. I'll go with you first. It's just like, why do you make that sound? I'll look at their character bios in the next part. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm actually gonna save off screen because I can't tell which one is which now. Oh, what a pain in the ass. It's probably this one, but I'll double check by looking through the, this part, or maybe it was the previous part. And then I'll save after confirming which save file is got the, bad end route and what one doesn't. It's kind of confusing because all it says is Kujo Mansion. That's kind of annoying. Anyways, see you next time, viewers. See you next time.